Hey, it's finally me, the JoJo stand ranking guy. I know it's been a while since we did this, and with the Still Ball Run trailer coming out, and we finally getting to look at them characters in anime form. I think it's time we dive into this new universe together and take a look at all these stands. In this episode, I'm going to be going over the stands of the racers. Johnny, Gyro, Diego, Poco Loco, Hot Pants, etc., etc. So here we got Tusk Act 1. This is the first act of Tusk and is the stand of our MC, Johnny Joestar. Tusk Act 1, his ability is that it gives Johnny the ability to spin his nails, and that's kind of it. Tusk is a very progressive stand, as it kind of starts out weak and over the series and the race it just gets stronger. But the ability to just spin your nails, it's low-key C tier. But I do like Tusk Act 1, he's a cute little guy. He's like a little animal. He also looks sad. So I'm gonna give him B tier. First stand of the new verse, and it's B tier. So that's something. Here we have Tusk Act 2. Tusk Act 2 is an upgraded version of Tusk Act 1 and is the same. Johnny's fingernails are basically given an upgrade, and they're given drill-like proportions. Which it's better. It's better. I think the design isn't that good, but it is better. I'll put this in B tier as well. Tusk Act 3, its ability is that it can make spiraling holes that Johnny can reach in and interact with and poke through and stuff. I think this is better than both of the other acts. Very nice, very Gucci. A lot of potential with that. You can get a lot of use out of that IRL. And last up for the Tusk, we have Tusk Act 4. This is S. Really like the design of Tusk Act 4. Tusk Act 4's ability is that it can infinitely rotate people, and you could potentially do a lot with that, and it can also bypass stuff like D4C Love Train and all that stuff. And basically, Tusk Act 4 hard counters probably every stand in the verse. It's definitely one of the strongest. Next up, we have Gyro's Zappelli stand, Ball Breaker. The thing with Ball Breaker is that it didn't really do much, and we didn't really get to see what all it did. But if this is just the source of the spinning balls, or if this is the reason, well, how Ball Breaker was summoned was because of an imperfect ball throw due to Gyro, and I think people speculate that it would have functioned as Tusk Act 2 and would have just been a stronger upgrade for Gyro. I might be wrong about that, but if I'm gonna put it in C tier, its design is cool. It's very unique looking. Next up we have Oh Lonesome Me. This is the stand of Mountain Tim, and he can split his body up, and they're all connected by rope. When I first seen this stand, it kind of clicked with me that this is just a lesser version of the Bara Bara Numi from One Piece or the Chop Chop Fruit, and I still stand by that, so I am going to put it in C tier. I just don't think it's that good. Next up we have Heya. Heya is the GOAT, Poco Loco is the GOAT. This is the stand of Poco Loco. Kinda like Ball Breaker, Heya doesn't really have a known ability, and a lot of people speculate it's luck manipulation. But Heya mainly functions as an advisor to Poco Loco, and tells him like where to go, what to do, and he often hypes him up, telling him he's got this and that. I think a stand like that is cool, and I like the design of Heya, and I'm a little biased. Poco Loco is probably like my favorite racer in the still ball run. Yes, he's better than Johnny. Yes, he's better than Gyro, better than Diego. My GOAT, Poco Loco, won the still ball run. Easy.
Scary monsters!
Alright, next up we got Scary Monsters. This is the stand of Diego. S tier. Scary Monsters is probably my second favorite stand of the part. And I like Diego. I think I like Diego more than Dio. And Scary Monsters is just peak. I like how he can turn people into dinosaurs. I like the dinosaur he turns into. And I like the arc of like where Johnny and Gyro fight him on like the Rocky Mountains. And also like how Diego's a reoccurring character. But the stand itself is goated. Like good mobility, versatility. The only thing bad about it is that you're like they're going for like a lore accurate dinosaur where their eyesight is like really bad. Oh, and I also like that little like demi dinosaur form Diego has where his teeth sharpens, he gets a tail. I think that's pretty cool. Next up we have Cream Starter. This is the stand of Hot Pants. I'm gonna give this an A tier. This is like a support stand. I think this is a really good stand for a really like good side character. I love Hot Pants. She's like a very good like JoJo side character. Basically what Cream Starter does, it acts as, it's like liquid flesh that acts as like a healing thing, and it can also be something that's like interacting with, like she could like do stuff with it maybe, but it's mainly just used as healing wounds and stuff. And I think stands like that are pretty good support stands, so I'm gonna give Cream Starter in there. Next up we have A Silent Way. This is the stand of Sandman. Really disappointed the way they went with Sandman. I personally really liked him until he became a villain. But his stand is pretty cool. So what A Silent Way does, it basically makes sound like living things. Like henchmen basically, like little minions. And they even have like a homunculus stage and they like grow, and I think that's really cool. And the stand design, like the Indian thing, it's absolutely fire. I'm gonna put this in A tier. I don't think, yeah, I'm gonna keep it in A. If any of you have something to say about A Silent Way, please comment below. The stand is pretty cool. I just don't really know much about it, but I do like Sandman. Sandman's the GOAT. Of Tomb of the Boom, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna rank these three all together because I think they all somewhat have the same stand abilities, as it's like all related to magnetism. These are the stands of the Boom Boom family. Basically, I know one of them has iron manipulation, and the other one has magnetism. I'll put them all in B tier. Pretty cool. I just don't really like the Boom Boom family. Like that whole arc, in my opinion, for the Boom Boom family to be like the first like villain stand users that the Johnny and Gyro face, I didn't really like it, honestly. That might just be me though. Our last stand, we have Boku no Rhythm Wu Kitakiri. I probably said that wrong, but I tried. This is the stand of Onyekoma. I might have said that wrong as well. Basically, this is Great Value Killer Queen, as it's another bomb related stand, and it makes bombs, like it turns things into bombs. Um, I'll give this. Alright, if this is great value killer coin, I probably should give it A because the ability to make things bombs is really good. Just not in the real world. Yeah, I'm fine with putting it A. I also like its design. I really like the stand designs that kind of like go far-fetched and a little bit crazy like this one. But that is it for the racers. Let me know what you think of the rankings down below. Next video, we'll probably just be talking about some of just the miscellaneous stands. Characters like Pork Pie Hat Kid, Lucy Steele, Blackmore, all them. And mark your calendars because tomorrow, episode 3 of Let's Go Hunting Fandom will be coming out. So be on the lookout for that. If you're still watching, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. We're back with ranking JoJo stands in part 7, Still Ball Run. So we're going to be taking a look and ranking the stands of the antagonist from this part. But before we dive too deep into the antagonist, we first quickly need to do Lucy Steele and her stand. Before we do the villains, we quickly need to do Lucy Steele's stand, which is called Ticket to Ride. And it's given to her after she messes with the body part of Jesus and she gets the ability. So she's given 2 abilities. Ticket to Ride. First ability, when she cries, she can use, like, they harden and become like stakes, and she can use them as knives. Pretty cool. Imagine like you're getting beat by an opponent and you start crying and like he like makes fun of you like, oh, you little pussy, you're crying. Then you just grab the tear and like stab them. But its other ability is much cooler. It is basically like kind of fortunate, as she can get herself out of any situation with like directing luck. Basically, for example, it's like Final Destination and like how it kills people. Like, for an example, there's like 2 people trying to capture her after she escapes the president's like quarters, and like they get stopped because she like knocks over a bottle and it like spirals into a big mess. That could be pretty good. I just don't really see that being that good for the real world unless like you're like a criminal. So even though I did say the tier stakes were cool, it's not that cool. Next up, speaking of not cool stands, next up we have Wired, which is the stand of Pork Pie Hat Kid. I don't think he has a name, and that's just what he's referred to as. But what Wired does, you get like a towing wire in your mouth. And like you can like throw out the hook and stuff. That's genuinely it. I'm gonna put this in D tier. It's really not that great. Next up we have Mandem. Mandem is really interesting. This is the stand of Ringo Rodigan, one of JoJo's best side villains. Mandem is the first stand in the series that can rewind time. It rewinds 6 seconds. And that is just really cool. Its design is also really sick. I'm gonna give it an S. I think Mandem deserves it. And what Ringo Rodigan does, I don't know if he actually has to do this or if this is just him aura farming, but when he uses Mandem sometimes, he like rewinds his watch. I think that's really sick. But yeah, just the ability to rewind time even in 6 seconds is really good. If Dio can make the most out of like the 5-6 seconds he got when he used the world, you can surely find something to do with Mandem. Like if you make a mistake, you could just quickly fix it. So I think it'd be pretty good. Alright, next stand is Catch the Rainbow. This is the stand of Blackmore. If any of you have watched some of the older stand ranking videos where I specifically pointed out a couple stands, one of those stands being Highway Star as a personal favorite, Catch the Rainbow is another personal favorite, S tier. Its design is fire. Even if it's the mask, it's really cool. What Catch the Rainbow does, you can like transport and walk on rain. And that is just really cool. And how Blackmore uses it is just, it's aura. Like if you want aura in the JoJo's verse, you want this stand. And this could be good even IRL, where like imagine like you live in like a rainy country or like a country that has like rainy seasons like Japan. You would be a menace with this stand. And also the poses and the artwork for Blackmore and Catch the Rainbow, just chef kiss. I wish he would have done more. Blackmore is the one JoJo's character I wish he would have done more. Next stand we have Sugar Mountain. This is like the stand of like that weird little girl in the snow forest. But Sugar Mountain is a really weird stand, as it has like 2 parts. There's the Trial of Greed, which when you walk into... Oh yeah, hold up, let me back up. The stand is a tree, by the way. Like a giant tree too. But the Trial of Greed, you walk into the tree and you drop something and like some water. And you get asked, did you drop whatever you dropped? You know, I'll use Gyro for example. When Gyro walks into Sugar Mountain, he drops his still ball in the water. But when looking in the water, there's like a diamond and a gold nugget. And he just takes his still ball. And the little girl is like, oh, you passed the trial. You can have both of them. And he's like, sweet. And if you pass the Trial of Greed, you get to the trial, to its second trial. I don't really remember its name. It's like Avariance. But whatever you ask for, you'll get. Like, for example, in the series, Gyro gets money. So if you ask Sugar Mountain for money, you have to spend it all before the sun sets or you're going to die. This stand honestly kinda sucks. You would have to be insanely careful with what you do with it and how it works. I'm gonna put it in D tier, honestly. It's mid. Alright, next stand we have Tattoo You. This is the stand of the 11 men. And what this does, they all like can get in this tattoo, and they can all also come out of it. But I think the tattoo can all... Wait, no, I think it's on all 11 on them. Basically, this ability allows you to jump on to people. And it's like what they do. This is only good in like a group where you do like mercenary work. Maybe it could be like bank robbers or something. It's not as bad as Wired or Sugar Mountain though. I'm going to put it in the bottom of C tier. Next stand we have Tubular Bells. This is the stand of Mike O. Like a guard for Funny Valentine. This stand allows him to make dogs, like balloon dogs that kind of like function as real ones, where they can attack you and like sniff you out. I think this stand is pretty fire. I think it's kind of underrated, as you could do a lot. Even like you could make like little dog friends and whatnot. I think that's pretty cool. But it's not that useful as they are like balloons. You know, kind of like how Tattoo You is the bottom of C tier. I think Tubular Bells would be the top of C tier. Next up, we have 20th Century Boy. This is the stand of Magenta. I will admit, its design is really cool, really peak, but its ability ain't that good. So when Magenta activates it, if he's like, he has to stand perfectly still and becomes invulnerable to every attack. That's kind of it, and it kind of like it's his downfall as well because he gets knocked into like a river and is like stuck there. He's like the new universe Cars, just stuck there. But I think its design is fire, and the name 20th Century Boy is really cool. I'm gonna give it B tier. Next up, we have Civil War. This is the stand of Axl Rowe. This stand is very unique as it relies on your guilt, and it can materialize your guilt and how you feel into like forms, and it like messes with your head. This is like a very mental based stand. Like it messes with you, and you even can get rebirth from that guilt, which I'm pretty sure is how Johnny gets Tusk Act 3. Its design is also really cool. Like I've said multiple times, I'm a big fan of these stands that like look alienish and robotic, like this one. I think it's definitely on par with 20th Century Boy in terms of design, so I am going to give it B tier. Next up, we have Chocolate Disco, and how this works is, imagine with this stand, you make like a battleship field. Like there's tiles with like numbers, letters, and you can reposition anything in these like quadrants into a different one. And it really like messes with gyro. This would be pretty good in JoJo's, but in the real world, just not that good. So I am going to give it C tier. Next up, we have Alternate World, The World. This is the stand of Alternate World Diego. If you've seen the last videos, this is going to be S tier. The World is S tier. It's basically the exact same. It's just, this can only stop time for 5 seconds instead of like any longer time. We don't know if Alternate World Diego could have expanded that time like how Dio does, because he died off too fast. Next stand, we have Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, also known as D4C. This is the stand of Funny Valentine. I will be honest, one of my personal favorite stands, design-wise. Out of all the villains, it's my favorite stand. Funny Valentine is also my favorite villain in JoJo's. But what D4C does, when he goes in between things, he can enter an alternate world and do whatever he wants. And he can even pull people from alternate worlds, even if they're dead in his world, which is like the base world or home world, or the center world. I don't remember which one it's referred to. And if two things or people collide, like for example, when Weka Pipo collided with his alternate world self, they both died like pretty brutal deaths. D4C's goated. It's peak. And for our last stand in part 7, we have D4C Love Train. I will go ahead and admit this is also S tier. D4C Love Train is an upgrade to D4C, and what it does, it can redirect any misfortune onto anyone else. That is really busted, and it took Johnny to defeat this guy getting a more broken ability in the form of the Infinite Spiral. Can you imagine trying to like kill someone and like they have this, and like you go to shoot them and like they use a Love Train, and like suddenly you shot like a hard working father of 4 just out of nowhere. So that concludes part 7. I know some of you at home are probably heartbroken that part 7 isn't going to get the 3-part like segment like most of the other parts do. It's just part 7 really didn't have how the other stand videos were formed. It was the main characters, it was side characters, side villains, then it was the final villains. Part 7 doesn't really have that, and I didn't really know how to split it up. because part 7 is unique. Like, it doesn't have like a group, it just has Johnny and Gyro. But I mean, maybe I could have did it differently. Like, I could have did Johnny, Gyro, Diego, Hot Pants, and just those 4. And I could have did the rest of the Stole Ball Racers for the second video, and for the third video I could have done the villains. But like the actual series, I'll make part 7 unique. So, still in the process of reading part 8, which I will go ahead and tell you part 8 is probably only going to have 2 videos as well. But if you did like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.